Hey everyone, Liam from Solitude here again, and there's been some great news that has come out today for Australian music, in my opinion, and I wanted to chat about it to you on another one of these videos. The headline that I saw in the news on social media was Double J on FM. The government commits to $500,000 to feasibility study. So straight away, Double J and FM, I was like, wow, my ears perked up and I clicked on that one. This is thanks to themusic.com.au, by the way. And Dan Cribb wrote this article, a local WA guy who makes some awesome music. Check him out. So what I wanted to quickly chat about was why this is happening, and then I'm going to read through a little bit of the article to clarify the situation. So obviously there's been a change of government recently. The Labor government has been voted in after the Liberal government was in power for quite a long time. And there's a federal budget that is taking place right now where they allocate funding to different areas in Australia. And previously, the Liberal Party, who are the more right-wing or conservative party, were not as on the side of the arts and were more likely to take money away from the arts. That's mostly because, in my opinion, they prioritise other ways that they can make money for Australia, like, mining, building, those sorts of industries, and they just don't prioritise the arts. Whereas the Labor government, who are the more left-wing and liberal party, they prioritise the arts, and something they try to do, I guess, in my opinion, is satisfy as many Australians as they can, as opposed to focusing on making the biggest profits in the shortest amount of times. Not to say that they can't do that. I'm sure that they could with their best earnest efforts, but at the same time, they like to prioritise the arts. So that's great for Australian music fans, because now it means that Double J, the sister station of Triple J, which plays more mature sounding music and is more catered towards people above the age of 25 and onwards, might be getting on FM radio stations. So in this article, it says Double J's hopeful expansion to FM is one step closer, with the federal government today committing significant funding to determine whether or not the DAB Plus station should join the same band as its youth broadcaster counterpart, Triple J. As part of the federal budget, $500,000 has been allocated for a feasibility study into the expansion of Double J to FM frequencies. Labor has also made good on its pre-election promise to restore the $84 million cut from the ABC funding by the coalition government in 2018, committing just under $84 million over 4 years. The 2018 funding cut resulted in 250 jobs lost. All right, a couple of things here to start off with. So obviously, it's kind of hard to say exactly what that amount of money, the $500,000, is going to go towards exactly. But when they say a feasibility study, I guess that basically means like they look into whether or not it'll work, whether or not they can get Double J on FM analog stations, and whether or not enough people listen. I don't know why that takes $500,000, but I guess there's other things I've got to pay for there. And I personally think it will work. So it's also good to see that they are likely to give a lot more jobs back to the ABC in the arts department. And then it goes on to say, back in March, a number of high-profile Australian artists began petitioning to have Double J shifted to FM in order to give older female musicians a platform to be heard. In an open letter, Missy Higgins, Casey Chambers, Kate Miller-Heidke, Sarah Blasco, Vicky Thorne, and Deborah Conway highlighted inequality on the Australian radio landscape. The collective stated that the expansion of Double J would be a relatively simple solution to this current inequity for artists and fans alike. At the moment, this fantastic digital-only channel plays a lot of new music by female and non-female artists over the age of 30, but its reach is severely limited. Some of us can fortunately still be heard on Triple J and community stations. The rest of us benefited hugely from FM radio exposure in our 20s and 30s, and the hits we had in those years continue to receive current continue to receive recurrent airplay, for which we are sincerely grateful. However, like our male counterparts, we continue to release new music of which we are proud, and we believe that our fans deserve an equal opportunity to hear it on the radio. Interesting that the likes of Missy Higgins, Casey Chambers said this a while back. I did see them, saw the headline about them saying this, and I tend to agree. I think what they're referring to is the fact that once you seem to progress away from the Triple J market, Double J is obviously one place that you can be heard, but another place you can obviously be heard is like on classic rock radio stations, for example, Triple M. Here in Perth, we have 96 FM, which also play kind of the classics as well. And a high majority of the artists that get played on those stations are men. And, that's just because I guess the males are the main demographic of people who listen to those stations. So, hey, they might just prefer, unknowingly and maybe slightly unconsciously biased, just prefer male performers and musicians to listen to. I'm not saying there's any problem with that. That's just how it is. But the problem is that I agree that there doesn't seem to be a good FM spot there for the likes of these Missy Higgins, Casey Chambers types to transition to, and they're basically only ever now getting played on Double J. Maybe some of their old stuff still does get played a little bit on commercial stations, but if they ever release something new, I doubt we'll ever see the light of day on a commercial radio station. So I could definitely see their frustration. So, in my opinion, why is this good if Double J would go onto FM? Because I know a lot of people would be thinking radio, come on, it's a dying breed. I just go on Spotify when I get in the car. Yeah, I get that. But on the other hand, I still think a lot of people have the radio on in the car. It seems to be an easy option. Like, you turn the car on, the radio starts. And people just like ease and they take the easy option a lot. So I think radio will stick around as long as radios are in cars. The other thing is, not every car has a digital radio installed. My cars don't. I've got a 2008 and 2014 model car that me and my wife use respectively, and both of them don't have digital radio stations in them. Some of my relatives recently bought a car, a 2021 model. That one doesn't have a digital radio station, and it's only got FM, which I was surprised by. But some cars don't prioritize putting in digital radios for whatever reason. So it's interesting to me that this station, Double J, which is predominantly made for older people to listen to, is only available on a platform that most older people don't really know how to access. And the same can be said for Triple J, which is made for younger people, but ironically, younger people are kind of moving away from FM radio, and they're the ones more likely to put Spotify on their phone. So it's almost like both stations are in the wrong place, and it's quite ironic. So for that reason, I think this should happen. I think Double J should be on FM radio stations because, in my opinion, it would probably get more people listening to it than Triple J, because there's more older people who are interested in more mature music that Double J plays, who still use their radios, as opposed to younger people who want the sort of music that is catered towards them that still listen to radios. So I think it's a great idea. I hope it happens. This obviously is not saying it will happen, but it very well could, and I would love to see it. Thanks for watching this video and having a listen. If you want to see and hear more stuff about Australian music, please subscribe to my channel, and thanks for coming back if you have again. See ya, bye.